Good evening, I'm Ryan, and welcome to NFL Trending, your home for the latest stories, controversies, and headlines shaping the National Football League. Tonight, we begin with a bizarre and unexpected incident that grabbed national attention. The Browns-Bengals game was briefly interrupted after a flying sex toy landed on the field. Yes, you heard that right. In one of the strangest moments of the season, fans witnessed an object being hurled from the stands, sparking laughs, shock, and questions about stadium security. But the story doesn't end there, because it happened during a game featuring one of the NFL's most talked-about young quarterbacks, Shedeur Sanders. The matchup between the Cleveland Browns and Cincinnati Bengals was already highly anticipated. It featured two divisional rivals fighting for positioning in the AFC North, a division often described as one of the toughest in football. Fans came in expecting big plays, tense moments, and maybe even some bad blood. What they didn't expect was a brief stoppage in play caused by an unruly fan throwing an adult object onto the gridiron. The officials quickly removed it, players tried to maintain focus, and the broadcast cameras captured just enough to make it a viral talking point across social media. For Shedeur Sanders, who has been under a national spotlight since entering the league, the moment was another chapter in what has already been an unusual rookie season. The son of NFL Hall of Famer and Colorado head coach Deion Sanders, Shedeur came into the league with heavy expectations, media attention, and critics ready to weigh in on his every move. His performance in the Browns-Bengals showdown was supposed to be the story of the night. Instead, the bizarre object incident has now overshadowed much of what happened between the lines. Still, let's not lose sight of the football itself. Shedeur Sanders showed flashes of what makes him such an intriguing young quarterback. He demonstrated poise in the pocket, delivered sharp throws against a tough Bengals defense, and gave Browns fans a glimpse of the future. While not perfect, his performance was another step in his growth as a professional quarterback. Coaches and analysts alike point to his composure as a key trait, something that will serve him well as the Browns continue to invest in their young passer. On the Bengals side, Joe Burrow and his squad had their own statement to make. Cincinnati, a team that has reached the upper tiers of the AFC in recent years, wanted to reassert its dominance. Burrow's connection with Ja'Marr Chase remains one of the league's most lethal duos, and against Cleveland, they showed flashes of why they are always a threat to put points on the board. The Bengals' offensive line remains a work in progress, but the chemistry between Burrow and his playmakers keeps them dangerous. The AFC North rivalry between these two franchises is no joke. The Browns and Bengals are both fighting for playoff relevance, and every game counts when competing in a division that also features the Baltimore Ravens and Pittsburgh Steelers. Every possession, every turnover, and every touchdown in these matchups carries extra weight. That's why the interruption was all the more surreal. Fans are passionate, emotions run high, but rarely do we see games halted by antics like this. The NFL has long faced challenges when it comes to fan behavior inside stadiums. While most fans are there to cheer passionately for their team, isolated incidents like this one force the league and stadium officials to revisit security measures. Throwing objects onto the field is strictly prohibited, and when it happens, fines and even bans can follow. In this case, the odd nature of the object has sparked both outrage and humor, but make no mistake, the league views any disruption of play as a serious matter. Social media, of course, exploded. Memes, jokes, and viral clips flooded platforms within minutes of the incident. The NFL community, already active online, seized the moment, and within hours, hashtags related to the game were trending not for touchdowns or highlights, but because of the unexpected prop tossed from the stands. For Shedeur Sanders, it meant his name was attached to a viral story that had little to do with his actual play. That's part of life in the NFL spotlight. Attention doesn't always come in the way you expect. But let's zoom out for a moment. This game, and this incident, tie into a larger narrative about Sanders himself. Ever since he declared for the NFL draft, questions have followed him. Could he transition from college stardom at Colorado into the pro ranks? Could he handle the scrutiny that comes with being Deion Sanders' son? And would the Browns, a franchise that has long searched for stability at quarterback, finally have their answer in him? Early results suggest that Sanders has the tools, the mindset, and the toughness to make it. Still, he is learning, adapting, and proving himself week after week. The Browns' decision to put their faith in Sanders has energized their fan base. Cleveland has endured years of ups and downs at the quarterback position, with countless names cycling through the starting role. Sanders represents not only hope for the present but also a vision for the future. He's young, marketable, and already a face of the franchise. Even in a game overshadowed by a flying distraction, his development remained the underlying story. Meanwhile, the Bengals are in a different phase of their journey. With Burrow locked in as their franchise quarterback, their mission is clear: win now. Their window of contention is open, and every divisional matchup carries high stakes. Games like this one, even with unusual interruptions, are part of the grind of trying to capture another AFC title and make a return to the Super Bowl. As we look ahead, both of these teams have storylines worth watching. For Cleveland, it's about patience and growth with Shedeur Sanders. Every game is a chance to evaluate his trajectory and determine just how far and how fast he can take this team. For Cincinnati, it's about sharpening their execution and finding consistency as they push toward the postseason. The NFL, as always, is full of drama, both expected and unexpected. Sometimes that drama comes in the form of last-second touchdowns, overtime thrillers, or incredible individual performances. And sometimes, as we saw in this Browns-Bengals clash, it comes in the form of bizarre interruptions that nobody could have predicted. The league will move on, the teams will prepare for next week, and fans will keep talking, because that's what makes football America's most watched sport. At the end of the day, Shedeur Sanders walks away from this game with more experience, more film to learn from, and another test under his belt. The Browns continue to build, the Bengals continue to compete, and the AFC North remains one of the toughest battlegrounds in the NFL. The flying object may have stolen the headlines, but the real story is still about football, the players on the field, the battles between rivals, and the relentless pursuit of victory. That's the latest from NFL Trending. I'm Ryan, thank you for tuning in. Stay with us for more breaking stories, deep dives, and coverage of everything making waves around the league. Until next time, keep trending with the NFL.